Dear friends, welcome to the Sport Integrity Week. My name is Fernando Veiga Gomes. I'm a sports lawyer, a partner at Abreu. And let me address you this message in my capacity of Vice President of SIGA's Ethics Committee, and also in my capacity of President of the Sports Law Commission of the UIA, International Association of Lawyers. I will focus this presentation in a topic concerned with financial integrity, and in particular the case of club ownership. Just to give you an idea of the sports industry as a whole generates more than 80 billion US dollars per year, and from this 80 billion, around 40% is the football industry. And the football industry over the last few years has faced problems with integrity and sustainability, with many cases that we all know. There is a problem of transparency of the football industry, and just to give you an example, according to the latest numbers, around 77% of the football clubs are insolvent or close to insolvency, and so there's a problem of and this in spite of all the financial fair play rules that we have had in force over the last few years that improved the game, but still didn't avoid the problem. On the other hand, sport has become vulnerable to corruption and criminal infiltration, with many forms of organized crime, from match fixing to other more sophisticated problems with tax evasion, etc., etc. We have all that in football. We also have a problem of moral responsibility. Cases of money laundering, traffic abuse, and all that are also found in football. We also have, and the other face of the coin is poor management and unqualified board members, which is also a problem that we need to address. And we all know we had many cases of bankruptcy in the last few years, and there's nothing worse for a football fan than seeing his own football club disappearing because of bad management. And since 2015, May 2015, when FIFA decided to finish the third-party ownership, investors and investment funds, they shifted their investments from TPO to club ownership. But the problem with club ownership is that we have exactly the same problems we had with TPO. And we have problems of conflicts of interest, we have corruption, and we have influence on sports decisions of clubs made by owners or shareholders of football clubs that we don't know who they are. Also and related with club ownership, is the question of the intermediaries and the role of the intermediaries. And we have found over the last few years that some of the intermediaries, agents, they represent players, and they also own football clubs, and that places also another set of questions. And of course there's the problem of transparency in football clubs. They don't publish the accounts, problem of transparency, disclosure of information, etc. And the answer for all this, of course, is proper and strong regulation that doesn't exist, and it's not harmonized at a global level. And of course, the investors and they use these loopholes in the regulation in different countries to make their investments, and they move very fast, and we cannot avoid their investments. So it must be defined a new model, of course, with the help of SIGA, a new model for governance and good governance in football. Let me give you, to finalize, some conclusions of a study that we are preparing on club ownership, the first study on club ownership. So the first conclusion that we can address, and that we have found with this study, is that there's the urgent need of harmonized regulation. Only a few jurisdictions in terms of football, they have effective monitoring of football clubs. Most countries, they don't have at all efficient mechanisms to trace and determine the ultimate beneficial owners of the football clubs. And in general, there's poor scrutiny and lack of oversight and over the investment, and lack of due diligence at all. So all this poses a big question to the football industry. and in terms of a big threat to integrity and transparency of sport. And so we must do as much as possible to define a new model, a new regulation, harmonize as much as possible so that the football industry can be prevented from criminal infiltration and for the good, of course, of the game. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very good and a very interesting week.